You're watching 48 Fastcast.
Good Friday afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Hurley with this 48 Fastcast, our digital newscast providing you the latest across the Tennessee Valley in just under 10 minutes. Let's start today in Boaz, where a man is facing several sex-related charges involving children. Mark Lavoie is charged with 2 counts each of rape, incest, sodomy, and sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12. Police say an investigation began when they received reports of 2 young victims who were abused. A warrant was issued for Lavoie's arrest. He's now in the Marshall County Jail without bond. Let's stay now in Marshall County. A convicted triple murderer was just denied an appeal by the Alabama State Supreme Court. Jimmy O'Neill Spencer, convicted back in 2018 for the murders of Marie Martin, her great-grandson Colton Lee, and neighbor Martha Relaford. Spencer already had a request in for a rehearing denied earlier this year. He will remain behind bars.
We talked about yesterday some storms would fire up in the afternoon. Heavy rain, dangerous lightning could have an impact on the high school football games. And here they are on the radar right now, mainly for areas west of I-65. We take a look at what we have on the radar. You can see where the heaviest of rain is falling right now into portions of Franklin County and Colbert County. And there is now a severe thunderstorm warning just south of Russellville for Phil Campbell. That is mainly for winds that are gusting up to 50, 60 miles an hour. These storms are drifting south and east, so headed towards Lawrence County. There's a few isolated cells up towards Athens, but here's the main player. You see all the lightning in Russellville right along 24 south towards Phil Campbell. And this will continue to impact areas in Franklin County for the next 10 to 15 minutes. If you don't have a storm, it's really warm, 93 in Huntsville. But where you have a storm in Russellville, it is 70 degrees, 23-degree difference. Isolated storms will continue through the early evening, locally heavy rain, and then they're out of here. And then we just get hot again for the weekend. Take a look at both Saturday and Sunday for you, coming right up.
Jeff, the community rallying around a football player a week after he collapsed during a game. We're going to tell you more about that story when we come back. It has been 1 week since a West Morgan high school football player was rushed to the hospital after he collapsed in the middle of a game. Members of the community are showing their support ahead of tonight's game. That team selling wristbands with the words Cole Strong on them to honor Cole Thorne. Thorne went down during last week's game, had to go into surgery for a brain bleed. He's now able to walk and is expected to make a full recovery. West Morgan's head coach says the team was inspired by Thorne's resilience to make and show off these bracelets.
And I know the Thorne family is extremely thankful for the outpour of support and love for Cole. And, you know, our team is feeling good. They know that Cole's in a good situation and he's progressing ahead, and we're going to continue to, you know, lift him up in our thoughts and prayers. So, you know, we're feeling very, very optimistic.
West Morgan's on the road tonight to Town Creek to take on the Hatton Hornets. Speaking of football, week 4 almost upon us, and we have you covered with all of tonight's action. Beginning today at 4, WAFF 48 Sports Director Carl Prather and sports anchor Kaylee Tingelstad will join us live from Arab as the Knights take on the undefeated Guntersville Wildcats. We'll also have crews in all corners of North Alabama covering tonight's big game, so be sure to tune in to our 10 o'clock newscast for this week's 48 Blitz as we recap all the gridiron action from this week's slate of games.
Now, your 48 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Jeff Denoyer.
As those games get ready to kick off, plus all the live shots that we have here at WAFF 48, getting ready for the big games today. We're going to have to watch the radar, obviously. Here we are at 3 o'clock, 3:05 in the afternoon, and a line of strong thunderstorms. The strongest storm is the severe thunderstorm warning in Franklin County right now, producing some gusty winds, heavy rain, and there is some dangerous lightning with these storms. As they move and drift slowly to the south and east, they'll continue to make it to about I-65, and I think a lot of the activity will abruptly stop, and then areas east of I-65 will have much less of a chance of rainfall through the early evening. Temperatures all over the place. Obviously, it's been hot throughout the day. You have been mainly in the 90s if you haven't had a storm. If you're not in the 90s, you're close to it, but look where this line of storms has developed to the west and what it's done to the temperatures. 69 degrees in Haleyville right now. It's like free air conditioning. It just comes really wet, and that's what those storms will do. They pull down that really cold air aloft and bring it right down to the surface. So here's your satellite and radar, and you can see that one little blow up of storms right here across the Tennessee Valley. We talked about this last night where some of the rain would be heavy at times with the gusty winds and dangerous lightning. Back to the radar. Again, here's where we're watching closely in Phil Campbell and Russellville for some damaging winds, but even a few storms up towards the Athens area as they continue to drift south and east. Obviously, wherever we have live shots set up, we're going to have to be cautious of some kind of lightning that could be in the vicinity. And if you're going to the game tonight, if you have a storm, it would be at kickoff and then mainly dry after that. Temperatures falling from the 80s to the 70s unless you have a little cooler air with a thunderstorm at kickoff. Saturday and Sunday, slight chance of a storm each day. It's all about the heat. Temperatures once again in the low to mid 90s. The first day of fall will not feel like fall, but it's actually on Monday, and the temperatures will be near 90, and then we have a chance of a few isolated thunderstorms by the middle of the week.
Thank you, Jeff. That'll do it for our Fast Cast. AJ Weiss will be online shortly with Before the Four, followed by Carl Prather and Kaylee Tingelstad with this week's Tailgate Tour. Then, of course, join us on air on WAFF 48, 4, 5, 6, and 10 for today's top stories. I'm Liz Hurley. Thanks for watching. Have a good afternoon.